What is up, everybody? Ninja Nick here with Tactical Gaming, bringing you an interesting video. Gun control. It doesn't work. And we have lots of cases that actually prove that across the board from multiple different states, multiple different cities, and multiple different kind of actions that have happened to law-abiding citizens and criminals. And I will compare both of those. Now, every single one of these blue states and or blue cities that have an exuberant amount of gun control laws and red flag laws and a whole lot of other kind of laws that are supposed to regulate and also make it more difficult for law-abiding citizens to obtain guns. Now, these Democrats and lots of other also Republican leaders will say, well, it's to help limit gun violence, but they don't actually go after the people who are actually causing said violence. Now they want to say, oh, well, hey, all these mass shootings, which most of the recent mass shootings have been done by certain individuals that are by the protected class at this current moment in time, non-binaries and or transsexuals, certain ones that have targeted either workplaces and or, places that are schools and or certain individuals. Case in point, the Tennessee shooting. That one individual, which I'll be doing another video because a lot of people are like, oh, hey, look, they used an AR. Now, one of the rifles was one, but at the same time, another one was a Keltec, and that one uses 9mm rounds. So I will be definitely doing a definition of this is an AR, this is an AR-15, this is an AR-10, this is an AR-12, which I don't have an AR-12, but yeah, there's certain ones, and there's a reason why they are called the way they are and everything else. But, anyways, a lot of the people who have been doing these shootings, like the most recent one, the bank shooting, that young individual whose family actually contacted the police and they found out that that individual was targeting a school, or at least getting ready to. And a lot of these are transsexual or non binary individuals. And it's not because they're trans or anything else, in my opinion. It's because they are mentally ill. They are sick and they need help. Now, the problem with a lot of these places that, have a lot of these, gun free zones, which are general targets like schools, banks, grocery stores, malls, a lot of these places where, it literally says no guns allowed. Now, people who follow laws, they will enter without, having a gun. Now, there are other people who will look at that sign and go, well, what if someone who comes in here who actually comes in here for means to actually hurt people? Not just steal something, but come in and hurt people, because that is what has happened. It's not like most of these people are going in, with said weapons and then, going out with nothing but material and or money or whatever they're trying to get. Right? No, they're going in and they're instantly hurting people. Instantly. It's not like they're in there and then, they get to where their goal is, they take what they're taking and then they go. No. Because all those people who are doing that stuff, none of them are pretty much armed. And if they are, they don't pull their gun out and like wield it out. No, they're just stealing stuff. So there's a difference. And that's just it. Most of these places that they go after, malls, which when the security they have there, they're not armed unless like the mall is a very unique mall, and I don't know of any mall that has like armed guards. Grocery stores, I've worked at one grocery store that actually had armed guards at it. Okay, and they actually had to pay another company to come in to actually bring in the armed guards. So, and there were certain days we didn't even have those guys. Now, the thing is, having people there limits shootings. So if you actually have, you know, certain people who protect the schools, protect the malls, protect the grocery stores and everything else, there's less likely to have shootings at those. Like when it comes to taking care of people, we have the ATF, right? And the ATF's job is alcohol, tobacco, firearms. So they're supposed to regulate those things. Well, with the fact that they aren't actually stopping a lot of these people who are going out and causing a lot of these troubles, such as gang members who are causing a lot of the violence, and they're the majority of the people who do have illegal guns. Now, a lot of the people who are going to probably hit this with the people who did do the shootings, like, the Bang, the Tennessee shooting, the possible one over with, the young individual who got, called out by the family, they all had legal guns. Yes, they had legal guns. There's nothing wrong with owning a gun legally. Now, my defense to that right there is, if that said individual knew where they were going, actually had armed guards on a regular basis, meaning the entire time that that business is operating, there is someone or some people there who are armed, and their whole goal is to maintain the safety of the actual people who work there and the people who go there for their patronage. That's how it should work, right? Now, if it's like that for malls, schools, and everything else, we're gonna have less people doing something like that. Because when it comes to armed guards, when it comes to things like that, that's what helps prevent it. Because the people will go, "Oh no, that's scary. There's someone who's gonna stop me." When it comes to these people who go to these schools, they know there's no one there who's gonna stop them. They know this, and they know this big time. So that's where it comes down to being where these safety zones, these gun free zones, all this other kind of stuff doesn't work. Like, at all, none. And it's really ridiculous that these people, they're using it as a defense. And their defense is, well, these individuals are afraid. Why? Why are they afraid? They have no reason to be afraid. At least right now, they don't. Now, a lot of people are getting upset, but at the same time, it's not, a certain community. No, it's just mental instability and fear. It's this fear mongering that a lot of these Democrats, senators, governors, mayors, all that, they're spreading all this fear. And it's this fear that are making a lot of these people do a lot of things that they normally wouldn't. They're interacting in a way that they normally wouldn't act. And it's because of fear. If these senators, governors, and all these other people were being held at a high standard like they're supposed to be, Nancy Pelosi, uh, the whole squad, along with several other individuals who are, out there saying, "Hey, you see a Republican out there, get in their face. Hey, we're not gonna stop. We're gonna fight like hell. Day of violence and all this other kind of stuff." You know, the summer of love during 2020, when all the fires and violence from BLM and all the Antifa rioters, the Antifa member who shot the Proud Boy guy in the leg. How about the Antifa member who literally shot the police officer because they didn't want them to build a new facility so they can actually train and get better at their job, which could help with de-escalation and everything else. But they didn't know. They don't care. All they care about is F the pigs. Well, the thing is, Antifa, BLM, these individuals have used fear and have spread fear across the country. And now it's the same thing that's going on for the trans right people. And this is being emboldened by senators and governors. And these senators and governors need to be removed from their position of power in all seats because they're spreading fear. They're making their voting base scared by saying, "Oh, hey, these people are coming for you. These people are after you. They're trying to, make laws that will get rid of you." It's like, no, they're not. They're making laws and rules to make it to where you leave kids alone. You leave certain things out of school, and you leave it to either the parents or a certain program that the parents are aware of. The fact that you literally have teachers in schools who are trying to lie to parents about what's going on in the classroom because they say it's for their safety. No, it's not. It's grooming. They're after the kids. And that's what they're afraid of. And they know that's what they're afraid of because they know that's what they're doing. They know they're grooming these children. They know what they're doing. And that's why a lot of these states and a lot of these, cities and these governors are doing this. Now, I get to this point because the whole gun free zone doesn't work. And the whole, like, building more laws isn't going to stop a criminal from being a criminal. And it's not going to stop people from, defending themselves when it needs to be, because we all have the right. And I do mean all. This is gay, this is straight, this is trans. It doesn't matter. We all have a right to live on this planet. We all have a right to actually peacefully exist. Okay? I do mean everybody. So sitting there, taking something that evens the playing ground for everybody is not a good idea. And then at the same time, making it harder for good people to actually have the means to defend themselves when they need to. Case in point, you know, the gentleman in Arlington, Texas. I believe it was Arlington or it was Austin. I think it was Austin. He was a driver, right? He was I think he might even had someone in the car during that time. But this is back in 2020, right? There was protesters going on protesting the whole Summer of Love thing, and one of them was armed, right? They had an AK-47 and they lifted it and pointed it right at him. Now, when something like that happens, there's only a couple seconds that you got to respond, and it's either you're dead or they're dead. And that's what that individual chose to do, and he shot the protester dead. He's now going to prison for murder. Now, Greg Abbott, he's trying to, pardon the gentleman, but there's certain kind of, circumstances that are kind of got to mitigate that. Now, he might get pardoned, he might not. Now, the president of the United States could pardon him, but that would go against Biden's agenda. And that is take all guns, punish all gun owners and everything, even if they're defending themselves. But he's not the only one. What about, the gentleman who was protecting his mother, whose home got broken into, she got assaulted, and he shot the individual who came into his mother's home and assaulted his mother and was attempting to steal stuff. Now, I'm pretty sure if the individual was just there to steal, it wasn't the intent of the person to shoot them, but the fact that the elderly individual was assaulted, that makes it 100 times worse, and also lawfully gives him the reason to actually protect said domicile and his mother. Now, him also going to prison because of self defense. Now, here's another one where the individual didn't defend themselves, more likely didn't have the means to be able to defend themselves because there was a 31-year-old woman who, went from, I think, West Virginia, it was one of the Virginias, went over to D.C. for a concert and gets stabbed to death in her hotel room by an individual that was already previously apprehended and arrested and charged for a violent crime, but was already previously released. This individual has an extensive rap sheet of violent offenses, but was let out. And that's not the only one. There's cases like that all over Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, Chicago. It does not matter. They're all over anything that is being run by Democratic and or anyone who's a lobbyist against gun control and self-defense and police. All these places are places that defunded police, that are bringing up red flag laws like crazy. They're making it illegal for law-abiding citizens to defend themselves, and as soon as a law-abiding citizen defends themselves, they are now the criminal, and the criminal is now the victim, and the criminal is gonna win because it's easier to throw someone who they know is gonna be like, oh wait, what? I'm now arrested. Oh, and they'll arrest them and throw them in prison, but they won't arrest gang members, cartel members, drug dealers. They won't sit there and arrest pimps or prostitutes or anyone else like that. And a lot of these cities are actually trying to decriminalize rape, assault of any other kind, incest, a whole lot of other crimes they're trying to decriminalize so that they don't have to arrest these people. So they can go, hey, look, we don't have crime. We have less crime now. And that's what they're doing currently right now, anyways. There's DAs who are letting people out left and right. And in my opinion, these DAs because case in one. Sorry, my brain is just like because everything that's going on is frustrating, and it's like how how do these people have like the positions they have? How did they get voted in? Like all these DAs who are letting all these people out, how have they not been removed from their position of power? Other than the fact that they're actually backed by George Soros. You know, the same guy who backed the same DA who was going after Donald Trump for supposedly paying off a porn star so that she wouldn't say anything, who also lost her lawsuit and is paying Trump money. So that's interesting. And the funny thing about that is that same DA who's going after Trump also skyrocketed the amount of crime in his district by 700 plus percent. Make that make sense. You know what I mean? Make that make sense. Which at the same time is also opening the eyes of a lot of people around the country to a lot of the hypocrisy of what the Democrats are doing. AOC, Nancy Pelosi, all of them. All of them. Whether it be senator, governor, mayor, it don't matter. It don't matter. It just comes down to people need to open their eyes and they need to realize making more laws doesn't do anything. You got to punish the criminals and actually keep on punishing them. You can't just sit there and like smack them on the hand and say, "Don't do that again." They do it again. You just no. They're literally treating them like they're kids, but yet they're also treating the law-abiding citizens like they're a grown adult and like you knew the rules. Guess what? You're going to prison. But yet, if you're a criminal, bad. Don't do it again. Bad. Don't do it again. Bad. Don't do it again. This is what they're doing. Like, I hope that's a good analogy or comparison to kind of like, oh, okay, because that's literally what's going on. Criminals, bad. Law-abiding citizens, cuffed. What? How's that work? How's that work? Make it make sense. So, if you have any politicians or anyone in your district or anything like that who are literally talking about, oh yeah, hey, I'm for the police, take a good extensive look into the background because a lot of these people nowadays are changing their tune because they know that they messed up. They got exactly what they wanted. They wanted less police. So with less police, there's more crime. With the fact that there's more crime, there's less and less businesses, and that's what's going on. With gun control being the big forerunner of what these people believe, they ain't even caring about punishing people. They're like, oh well, hey, you know what? We'll let people loot, rob, steal, destroy, burn. They don't care. But as soon as it's someone who uses a gun and they're of a certain color or maybe of a certain kind of political party or anything like that, they'll go after them. Like it doesn't matter. They'll go after them, but they won't go after the people who are literally causing the root of the issue. And that's where people really need to open their eyes and actually stand up together. And we gotta vote with our wallet. We gotta use our voice. Like we need to actually like stand up and say, "Hey, we the people of this great country are tired and done. Like we're gonna bring it back to what this country used to be, and it was a place that accepted everyone and cared about everyone, despite your race, your creed, your religion, and all that other kind of stuff. It goes off of your actions, the person you kind of are, not like, oh hey, I'm gonna say this, but I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? So, state by state, city by city, we just got to start opening our eyes that more laws don't do anything. It's the punishment. We got to punish these criminals. We got to stop them. Like the good people need to start opening their mouths instead of just watching. Stop being complacent. I'm not saying go out and do something. No, you know what? Just go out there, bug the living crap. I do mean call them every day. Call your senators, call your governors, Call your district representatives, all those people, call them and say, what are you doing about this crime? Why is this going on? Why are there car thefts? Why is this going on? Why is this not being taken care of? Why is this not being taken care of? What's going on? What's going on here? Why? Like, bug the crap out of them. Call them every day. Leave them messages and say, hey, why are you not doing your job? Why are you here? If you're not going to do your job, what we voted you in for, you might as well step down so that we can find someone who actually will do their job. Because that's the whole point of a democracy and a society and everything else. That's the whole point of senators and governors. There are representatives. They're supposed to be there for us to listen to us and do what we say. So if they're not going to do what we say and what we ask, but they're going to go off of a small little group instead of like the whole, then it's time to remove them from office and put people who we actually know will do their job. And if not, remove them too and put someone else. And we'll keep repeating that same process until people get it in their head of like, oh, hey, I'm a public servant. I am not, some kind of upper echelon person who, all these people need to bow down to me, which is what a lot of these people are doing. So, take a good look at a lot of these states: California, Washington, D.C., Oregon, parts of Texas, parts of Chicago, Illinois, Chicago in general, New York, Maine, Maryland. A lot of these places, check them out. Keep a good eye on them, and just watch how a lot of these places are falling apart. Cities, Los Angeles, San Francisco, whoa, whoa. So, take a good look. There's a reason why people are leaving in droves, why businesses are leaving in droves. People ain't safe no more. And it's not because of guns, it's because of lack of actual accountability and a lack of punishing of criminals. That's it. Just get rid of these DAs. Let's get us some good people who are going to do their jobs and stop attacking good cops. You know what I mean? So that's it for the video. Gun control don't work. Stop making more laws that are just punishing good people and punish the bad. And with the fact that, I believe we should abolish the ATF, get rid of the FBI, use that funding to now protect places like malls, schools, and anything else that's supposed to be a place that guns aren't supposed to be allowed. Like, if you don't want guns in those zones and you want to keep them that way, then what you need to do is hire security professionals to protect these places, and you will have less shootings. Guaranteed. So, that's it for the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope everyone has a great day, great night, great evening, all that great stuff. Check me out on my Rumble, okay? Rumble.com/tacticalgaming90. And I am on YouTube as well. Hopefully this is actually still on YouTube. It might be, might not be. I don't know. But it is the youtube.com at tacticalgaming90. So check me out on there. Hopefully y'all enjoy the video. Later.